This is Jen.
And this is Chris.
And this is Spellbound Adventures. We're hoping all of you out there are having an amazing and magical day. Here at Spellbound Adventures, we can help you plan your next getaway for you and your loved ones. Our videos here are centered around tips and tricks, and possibly experiences for you and your family. So the other day I was talking to one of my friends, and she was saying that she really wanted to plan a vacation to Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, but her girls don't like roller coasters or thrill rides. So we decided that today's video should be all about the rides that are not thrill rides that can actually, work for everybody in your group or your family.
Because let's be honest, most families have this one crazy person who thinks looping upside down in a dinosaur-themed ride held only in your seat by a lap restraint.
It's a big lap restraint.
A lap restraint.
It's fine.
Is fun.
It is.
It's no, it's not fun.
You feel weightless.
I prefer much less exhilarating rides.
Boring. Now, since we have so much to talk about in this park, we'll do another video talking about Islands of Adventure and another about shopping, because shopping's a big one, and I love to shop.
Yeah, I was actually just going to call that second part of the video just City Walk, but the last vacation we had done, Jen had actually planned for us to spend a day over at Disney Springs. Mm-hmm. So I figured I'd wrap the two of them together because going to Disney Springs is free. Mm-hmm. Shopping at Disney Springs, eating at Disney Springs is not, but parking, actually getting in, doesn't cost anything. And let's just be honest, a lot of people call it the seventh theme park for Disney.
Seventh theme park? What?
Yeah. Okay, so you've got Magic Kingdom, you've got Epcot, you've got Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and the two water parks.
Oh, that's true.
But there is a bunch of stuff to do at Disney Springs, as we discovered. They've got the Lego store, they've got the Christmas store. That's true. We are those crazy Christmas people. We'll get into that in a later video.
Wait until you see Christmas time here. So while there's tons of stuff to do over at Disney Springs, and like Chris said, we could do a whole video just on that. But there are just some amazing stores too. So hopefully you actually have seen my video of me picking out my very first pair of ears over at the World of Disney store.
And I'll put a link to that video in the description below.
That was a big deal. It literally is my very first pair of mini ears. I was really excited to get them, and I tried on a lot of pairs. So as Chris said, when you go over to Disney Springs, parking is free. All we would recommend is if you really want to spend the day there, get there a little before they open, grab yourself a good parking spot, and just have fun with your family.
Because you will have to get through security. So, just like I said, there's a lot of shopping to do at City Walk, Disney Springs, and inside the parks themselves. Mm-hmm. And if you happen to go during one of the major events like Christmas, mm-hmm. Mardi Gras, or HHN, they have a special store that's open only for the duration of that event, and it's mm-hmm. called the Tribute Store. And they have some amazing merchandise that is only available for a limited time. Yeah. Special magnets, special ornaments, special shirts, masks, you name it. It's all unique to that time of the year. Now, I like collecting t-shirts. I'm one of those people. Jen will grab herself a mug or some kind. And then there's the Universal store at the front of the park. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, the candy section.
No. Chris has been cut off from sugar for a little bit. So, no. Even when we go back to Universal soon, we have to cut back on our sugar. But now let's just start talking about the rides at Universal Studios. Let's get into that.
What's the first one in the park?
First one is Minion Mayhem. And Minion Mayhem is great for the whole family, small kids, big kids like us. You actually used to wear 3D glasses for this ride, but not anymore. You'll feel like the seat move, but it's so much fun. It's not a thrill ride. It's just a fun ride. So check it out. You'll love it. And actually this summer, Universal is opening up a brand new Minion ride, which is called a VillaCon Blast.
Yeah. Universal Studios, if you're watching, could we have a date? Because I want to plan a trip.
I think it's going to be in April.
No, that's Tron at Disney.
I was thinking 19, that was April. Okay. I got to get my parks in the right thing.
It's because we've been talking about Tron a lot.
I know, we have. We're excited. So anyway, Universal is opening up a brand new ride called VillaCon Minion Blast. Now, for this ride, it's not really a ride. It's actually a moving walkway, and you get to blast stuff. So this is going to be another ride for you non-thrill seekers that everybody can enjoy in the family.
I can't wait. I like shooting things in this, and there's another ride we'll get to later where you actually get to compete against your spouse.
Yeah.
Not that we're competitive or anything.
We're competitive.
So, moving on. The next one is Jimmy Fallon, and it's the Race Through New York. And my daughter loves this ride. You're wearing a set of 3D glasses, and there's movement while you're sitting in a row of chairs. Now, there is a lot of forward movement, a lot of back, side to side, but it's not jarring, and it's, for someone like me who has really bad back problems, obviously your mileage will vary, but I've never had a problem on this ride. And you do wear 3D glasses. Now, there is a section where you do this massive free fall from the moon back down to lower Manhattan. Won't give any bit more away, but that's probably about as exciting as it gets. And there is these giant fans that they have up top that is blowing air on you during the event to make it fully immersive. But it's not horribly exciting. Some people like to scream. It makes it more fun. But
Yeah.
it's a great ride for those people that need something far more sedate than like Rip Ride Rocket.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great ride for the whole family. And like I said, it's even a good ride for smaller kids too. So if you've got little smaller ones, it's great for the whole family, like I was saying. So the next ride on our list is Transformers. So this ride starts off with you getting into like a blue car and putting on a pair of 3D glasses. You're trying to escape the evil forces of the Decepticons. It is a fast-paced race.
Special note for you guys, those of us who watch the cartoon.
It is a fast-paced race through the streets of a city. But it's really, it's not that bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of twists and turns. The car itself does shift around and move around a lot. There's another ride over at Islands that we'll talk about in the next video that actually uses the same very system. I like this because I get to sit in a seat where I can press myself flat against the seat and hold on to the bar so I don't have to worry about jarring my back. It's a lot of fun. I would have to say we probably did it 2 or 3 times the first time we actually went out to Universal because we really liked it.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Really
But I really love Transformers because, I grew up on them. And I wish I never lost my Jetfire or my Metroplex or my...
Yeah. That's
Okay.
nice, honey. That's nice. Some of us didn't watch Transformers. That was me, so if you can relate to that. All right, so
Okay,
let's focus
Gem
back.
Girl.
Oh, that was me. But I did love Gem and the Holograms. I'm showing my age.
Yes.
All right. Let's get back to the rides and stay focused on that. So how about we talk about, because we have to, Fast and the Furious.
All right, listen. These movies are a guilty pleasure of mine, okay? I love sitting down, watching a movie with very little plot, lots of racing, and lots of explosions. They're a lot of fun. But this ride is, in my opinion, not that. But it's one of those rides that's so cringeworthy, you have to go on it. Now, I will say this. This is built around that exotic car culture, which means that the dress of the individuals is probably somewhat more than some parents may feel comfortable with. And because that's something that's completely unique to the parent, I would definitely recommend maybe parents ride this in advance of maybe some of their younger kids. If they're 13 or 14 years old, I'm sure they've already seen it on the internet at this point. I guess it's all good. But it's loud, it's not very fast, it's not very furious.
No.
But it is on your way to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Yes, and let's just get past Fast and the Furious. Let's just go straight to the Wizarding World. Let's go straight to Diagon Alley. But since we're going to Diagon Alley, can we talk about Escape from Gringotts?
No, we cannot talk about Escape from Gringotts. Okay, first of all, that's a legit roller coaster. You end up in this first dip, and every time I go on this ride, I do enjoy this ride, but every time I go on it, I'm like, when we start off, I was just like, I regret my life choices.
It's nothing, people. It's like a little dip. It's like poop. It's like nothing.
Okay, you're sitting almost vertical, and then you drop into a dark pit.
You drop like 4 feet, possibly.
It goes on for a few seconds. Anyway, moving on.
But we need to say this, though. Even if you don't like roller coasters or thrill rides, you have to understand, Escape from Gringotts, you're wearing 3D glasses to really experience the ride. How fast can you really be going if you're wearing 3D glasses? I'm just putting that out there. So if you're on the cusp of liking thrill rides, not liking thrill rides, I still recommend giving Escape from Gringotts a try. Worst case scenario, at least just walk through the whole entire bank, enjoy the queue, and then you can say, sorry, not doing it when you get to the end.
Yeah. So when you do walk into Diagon Alley, it is like experiencing the books firsthand. They've done an amazing job replicating stuff from the movie or from the books. It's sort of an amalgamation of the two, and some of it is just done the way it's done for space limitations, but you have...
It's amazing.
You have the ice cream store with Harry Potter's favorite ice cream flavor. You have frozen butterbeer, cold butterbeer, hot butterbeer ice cream.
Butterbeer fudge.
Butterbeer fudge. And let's just say maybe another set of robes.
No.
Or what about a new wand?
No. Every year he gets a new wand. So eventually you'll have to do a video just on your wand collection.
Well, they come out with a collectible that's only available for 1 year. So, I mean, I have to get it, right? I mean, you people will understand with me, right?
Anyways.
I believe the next one is Men in Black.
Yeah. So, now as Chris was mentioning earlier, Men in Black is a competitive game. And I don't care if you don't like to compete. If you and your family get on this ride, you're going to compete with each other because that's what you're supposed to do. So, we like to compete with each other. So, myself, Chris, our daughter Mia. So on Men in Black, you're actually seated in sits 3 people at a time, and
it's a couple rows. It's a cart, and it's on a track.
Yeah, it's on a track, and you get to blast aliens for points. I mean, what's not fun about that? And then you get to compete with each other for it. And so there's going to be a couple sections where you really spin around, and you want to make sure that your lanyard that you're wearing is kind of like tucked inside. You don't want it like outside haphazardly. You actually do have to use lockers for Men in Black, so you can't bring like bags or anything onto that ride.
And don't bring sunglasses.
Yeah, don't bring sunglasses.
How many have we lost now?
I think I've only lost 1 pair on that ride. I mean, Lord knows where they are at this stage of the game, but yeah, I lost them.
Probably somewhere near Will Smith.
I lost them when I was doing a spin around. They flew right off. So.
But again, it's you're sitting in a very comfortable seat and you're restrained with a lap harness, and it as long as you're expecting the spins, you'll be fine. Moving on, we're going over to the whole Simpsons area, right? We're headed to Springfield.
Yep.
And then we've got, what is that ride? Twirl and Hurl.
Twirl and Hurl. You'll do neither. You'll do no twirling. You'll really no twirling and definitely no hurling. So it's a kiddie ride. It's fun. I've been on it. I like it. It's fun to do.
We were going for the completionist award of trying to get on every single ride at Universal, so we had to ride it. And you've got a little lever where you can go up, you can go down. And then there's the actual Simpsons ride, Krusty Land, I believe it's called.
Yeah, I feel like that whole Simpson area, sometimes it's called Krusty Land. But so the Simpsons ride itself, now, if you're old school Universal, what used to be there was the
Back to the Future ride!
Back to the Future ride. So really all I did was just retheme that ride as Simpsons. So you're like in a car, and I think it seats up to a max of 6 to 8 people. There's 2 rows in the car, and you move up, and basically it's like a whole screen just fills your vision, and so you kind of feel like you're in the ride itself. But it's not like a thrill ride or anything.
No, but there have been people who complained about getting nauseous on that. Wow, English is a very difficult language, isn't it? Yes, they complain about getting nauseous on the ride. Now, if you don't get car sick, that doesn't necessarily mean you'll be okay for this one. If you happen to have a large TV in your house, put on one of your POV, roller coaster, car driving, or flying YouTube videos, and stand really close so it fills your field of view. If you don't feel anything in your stomach while it's moving around, you'll be fine on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Again, this one moves you around very much like Jimmy Fallon does, so you won't really have any problems. But can we talk about E.T. now?
Yes, we can talk about E.T. now. Go right on ahead.
Okay. E.T. came out, what, almost 41 years ago now?
Yeah, I looked it up because I couldn't remember the date that it was released.
Yeah, 1982.
1982.
Yeah. I saw it in the drive-in when it was first released. That's how old I am, people.
I saw it in the movie theater.
This one is completely about nostalgia. It's not an exciting ride at all. You're basically sitting on a bicycle with a bunch of other people. Now, if you have the opportunity to sit front row and all the way to the left, do it.
Mhm.
I'm not going to tell you anything else. I don't want to ruin it for you. It's an entire experience. Now, it may be special in my heart because of nostalgia, but there are a lot of people that actually do ride this ride. Now, it never gets above a half hour as far as the line gets,
Yeah.
and using Express on it is kind of silly, but yeah, it's you walk through this beautiful forest, and pay attention when you're walking through the forest, guys. There's a lot to see, believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean, the queue is really wonderful. And I mean, there are times that we've shown up there and we've been like the only one to ride the ride. But lately, I have been noticing when we've been in the parks, it's gotten more popular. So, like, as Chris was saying, the wait is never long, but I am surprised to see how much more popular this ride is getting, considering most people who are going on this ride, like when I'm standing there in line, I'll look at Chris, I go, I don't know if any of these people have even seen the movie E.T. Like, they're all way younger than we are, but yet they're going on the ride. So I think for everybody, this is also the oldest ride at Universal. It was part of their opening. So this is the only ride left from when they opened the parks back up in 1990. So we're on our 33rd year of Universal Studios. So I think altogether, it's just a nostalgic ride, even for people who haven't seen the movie. But if you haven't seen it, go watch the movie.
Absolutely. So there are a couple of other, I wouldn't call them rides so much as productions.
Mhm.
So we have the Bourne Stuntacular, which is, it is a live action stunt driven event. And I don't want to say anything more.
Right.
The wait time for this one to start is a little bit on the long side. It has to do with getting everybody into the auditorium before they go into the area where you get seated. But honestly, it's worth the wait to do it the first time. And also the other show is the horror makeup show.
Mm-hmm.
They go into the history of horror and the makeup, and it is hilarious. The ladies who do this show are so funny.
Yeah. So, I mean, be aware though that both of those, since they're shows, once their shows start, you can't like walk in after the show has begun. You have to wait for the next time for it to come on. So just be aware of that. So if you want to do one of these shows, make sure you're using your Universal app to check the show times, and you have to make sure you get there prior to the show starting, because it's very important. Once that show starts, those doors are closed and they don't let you in.
And then you're just gonna have to wait till the next one.
Mhm.
Now, when we went from Fast and the Furious to Diagon Alley over to MIB, we purposefully skipped one particular section, and that's King's Cross Station. Now, King's Cross Station is part of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It is modeled after the real King's Cross Station.
It's so awesome.
There is a section where you can have people watch you walk through the wall as you go onto the platform, 9 3/4.
Love it.
And a legitimate train pulls into the station.
Oh my gosh, it's so awesome, people.
And you get to ride it. Now, the reason we saved this one for last is because it takes you over to Islands of Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, if the wait isn't too long, it's probably the best way to go over to Islands of Adventure. But this is a ride you have to ride twice. One going from King's Cross to Hogsmeade,
Mm-hmm.
and going from Hogsmeade to King's Cross. The show that is shown in the car is different depending on which direction you're going.
Mm-hmm.
So it is totally worth doing that, going one way to the other. Now, when you take it from King's Cross over to Hogsmeade, you're now in Islands of Adventure, and we're going to save those rides for the next one.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about Hagrid's and Forbidden Journey.
Well, we'll talk about Forbidden Journey, but Hagrid's is a legitimate roller coaster, so we're going to skip that one.
It's
I
a
know.
really awesome roller coaster.
Yes, I know. So we'll we'll be having that video come out very shortly, so make sure you hit that bell notification, like, comment, and subscribe. But until then,
stay healthy, be blessed, and we will see you at the parks.